Hello and welcome to today's, fix that uh, camera there. Today's Ask Me Anything coaching session. Come one, come all. So nice to have you here. This is very exciting because we have a lot of new faces here today. Don't have a ton of people registered, but we do have a large percentage of those who have registered joining us today. So welcome. If you wouldn't mind, please go to the questions tab, bottom right, question mark inside of a circle. And I want you to quickly tell me how long you've been with SiteSwan, and how many sites do you have sold? If you're brand new, don't be shy. You can tell us. I've been here for a day, 0 sites. That's okay. I want you to get used to communicating with me during today's session because you'll be asking questions. I'll be answering them. My moderators will be answering them. And we want to make sure we have an open line of communication. So questions tab is an icon on the bottom right. Everyone has to tell me how long you've been with SiteSwan and how many sites you have sold. Now is your opportunity. The more you interact here, the better you will have answers to issues. The more you'll be paying attention and the more you will get out of this, I guarantee you. So we got a few people already ready to go here. Sergio is saying hello, but didn't answer my question. Sergio, come on, man. How long you been with us? How many sites you got? We will get to your questions, I promise. Tammy, what's up? Tammy's been with us since May of this year with 38 sites. Sean just got going a few months ago, 2 sold. Nice job. Gennarino, I think if you had my last name, this would be a really funny world. Gennarino. And I'm probably not saying that right because is it Hanarino? I don't know. Either way, it would be really funny if you had my last name. Let's see. We got Kenneth is with us for 4 weeks and got 3 sales, off to a very fast start. I like to see that. Nat, almost 4 weeks, no sites yet. That's okay. Sean has been with us for hello months and has sold hello sites. Come on, Sean. Oh wait, did you already tell me? You did. Okay, I'm sorry, Sean. You already told me. I thought there were 2 Seans here. Sergio has been with us. He didn't say, but has got 1 site sold. Excellent. Cosman, 3 weeks, no sites sold yet. Melissa has been with us since August, no sites sold yet. Some unforeseen obstacles. We're here to help you get back on track, Melissa. Joe's been with us for 2 weeks, no sites sold just yet. Jenna Reno is how you pronounce it. Jenna Reno. So if you had my last name, your name would be Jenna Reno Gerena. Sergio is 2 months in. Ed wrote, I've been here longer than I care to admit. Oh, come on, Ed. I have 1 site, he says. Tammy wants to know. So for those of you who don't know, a little behind the scenes here. Tammy, who's with us today on the call, we just decided on the name that we've given to our interview. Tammy's been nice enough to lend herself to do an interview. I would say short, but it wasn't short. They never are. We just have so much to talk about. An interview that's going to be going live probably sometime in the next 2 weeks, maybe before Thanksgiving. I don't know. But if you follow us on YouTube, which you can do at any point, go to YouTube. See, the YouTube thing is like so weird now. You have to go youtube.com/ and then an @ sign and then SiteSwan. I don't know. Go here, click the subscribe button. You'll be notified when that video goes live. I really want everyone to know who you are currently in the presence of or with right now. Tammy is an all-star. And when Tammy asks a question, everybody should answer. She knows her stuff. And she's really killing it with her website sales, as you heard her say here since May with 38 sites. Steve is asking questions. Excellent. All right. So let's rock and roll. Let us begin with the questions. So post your questions where you're currently posting them. And my moderators, if it's like a thing where like, hey, here's the answer, they're going to go ahead and send you a link or whatever to get your question answered. Either way, the questions that we feel everyone can benefit from, they're going to pass on to me. I'll make sure I answer it live for everyone. And that's how we will do that. Some of you were nice enough to send in questions ahead of time. I'm looking at you, Tammy. Thank you for always doing that. And I'll be sure to get those answered as well. One of you, I think, sent in questions kind of late, which I will try to get to, but I also like to make sure that I'm answering the questions of people who are in the room right now. So Ed, I see you asked a question as well. Let me just organize that really quickly so that everything's in the same spot. I'll be able to reference what you sent in before. And we will be good to go. Give me just 2 more seconds, guys. Cosman, I got your questions that you submitted. And wow, right up to the wire here, like moments before we started here, I got questions coming in. I appreciate that, though. I always like to have these in writing because I feel like it's super easy when you have prepped your answer, your question ahead of time, and it gives me a half a second if I need to do some research or whatever to get the question answered. All right, let's dive in, shall we? The first question we are going to answer comes from, where's my window? There it is. All right. Sergio, who says, if I like the layout from one template, but the content from another specific one, how can we blend the two? So Sergio, I know what you're saying. Like you're on our themes page, you're in the dashboard creating sites, and you're like, hey, I really like the idea that, as a portable toilet rental company, I want to sell a website to, but there's like this other thing on this other theme that I'd like to integrate into the portable toilet rental theme. So the best thing I would recommend you do is actually go in to that site and see how it's made up. So like what's really cool about our platform, which actually didn't always used to be this way, is that for any site that you are editing, you'll be able to quickly identify the type of post this is just by clicking on the edit button. So if I click edit on this first hero image, I know it's a hero image because it's right there. And it's like, Justin, how do you add a new hero image? Click add new section, click hero image, click add to site, done. So what you can do is you can dive into that other site, click edit on whatever post it is that you are interested in replicating, and then copy and paste what you see into the site you're actually working on. And if it's a particular image that you really are attracted to for some reason, so what you could do there is you can actually click the replace image button and it'll show you the image library where that image is located. I could zoom in on it and save this image to my computer. Once it's saved to my computer, I can then, oh, you guys can't see my right click, can you? So if I right click on this image, I'm getting a little pop-up that says save image as, and then I can download that and then re-upload it to the site that I'm working on. So that is something you can do. If that's not what you were asking, Sergio, please let us know. But the idea of pulling elements of other themes into the theme you're working on, that's how it's done. Sean says, should we be thinking about some type of insurance, errors and omissions or liability or something along those lines? So Sean, you would never regret getting business insurance. I will tell you from personal experience in all my conversations with our hundreds, thousands of resellers, is that it's extremely unlikely that you will get into any sort of legal trouble with simply providing a website for a small business. But insurance for this type of industry is incredibly inexpensive. And like I said before, you wouldn't regret getting it despite never probably needing it. Hopefully never needing it. Kenneth says, when they already have a domain name, how do we take over? Great question. So if First Line Appraisals has a domain like firstlineappraisals.com with some crummy old WordPress site or whatever, it's very easy to take that domain name and use it for the SiteSwan site. All you have to do is get their domain registrar login information. Domain registrar login information. What does that mean? So let's just say we know the domain that the client has. I'm going to head over to a site called whois.com. In the very, very top, you enter a domain name in. So I don't know. What's this? This has got to be a site someone owns. And when I do this, you will see who the registrar is. I never heard of this registrar, Mark Monitor. I don't know. But whatever, Google them, you'll find them. So you'll tell them, hey, appraisal company, I noticed that you have your domain name with Mark Monitor. Does that sound familiar? Oh, yeah, it does. Fantastic. Find the username and password that you used for that site. Send it to me. I'm going to go ahead and log in, point that domain name to the new site. Okay? That's all you got to do. And then follow our step-by-step instructions for pointing the domain name live. Where is that? For those of you who haven't launched a site yet, Settings tab, domain name, right here. All the instructions are right here. Is this not good enough for you? Well, we got a video. Support.siteswan.com, head over to domains and then connect a domain. Step-by-step instructions in more detail with a video to support the process. Next question is also from Kenneth. How does the $4.95 monthly SEO in the back office really help? So Kenneth's referring to this thing called search engine submissions, where you can actually get any of your client websites submitted to the search engines instantaneously, either on a one-time or monthly recurring basis. Why is this important? So the search engines have to be notified that a site is live and that a site is being updated. They technically go and search the web themselves with what's called spiders. They web crawl through the internet and they grab content and they index. However, it's not perfect and it's sometimes slow. So if you go ahead and tell the search engines, hey, there's a site here that just launched, you got to check it out, it's going to increase the speed with which the web crawlers are going to hit the site. And guess what? If you tell them every single month, hey, look at me, they're going to get used to looking at you more often, and they will do exactly what you're asking them to, essentially. And when you do that, you're increasing the exposure that your site is getting to the search engines. I have heard a lot of fantastic stories about this service being super useful to people, and a lot of folks, Tammy's here, she'll tell you, she's upselling this as a service to her clients as well. In fact, she raised her prices. I hope I'm not giving too much away with the video, but she was at $50 a month and raised her price to $15 to $75 a month. So she increased it by $25 and is including the monthly submission with each and every sale. So that is definitely a really cool thing to do. Sergio says, where and how do we set up the email? Bleh. Where and how do we set up the e-commerce products and shopping carts? Can we add it to any template? Yes, you certainly can. So we have step-by-step instructions on how to do e-commerce. I'm going to point you to our support console where you will find right here, e-commerce. How to set up your online store powered by PayPal. So the first step you have to do is from the site details page, you're going to find the integrations tab and put in the PayPal email address that's going to be used for the purposes of e-commerce on this site. And then you're going to see this little thing pop up on the side of the site, which allows you to access the shopping cart. And then what's really cool about this, it's going to enable you to then move on to adding products. So what you'll do is for, let's say, an image post or a button or whatever, you'll see a new option under your link type. And the new option is going to be online store. So it won't just be to link to a URL or to a page or to call or email, whatever. You're also going to see online store. And with that functionality, you are going to see the ability to now add products to sort of like a catalog of sorts. You'll be prompted for the product name, the price, the shipping cost if there is one, tax percentage, quantity selection, turning it on or off, and also some product options, which are like, if you can do a shirt, you might have sizes as options, small, medium, large, or whatever. So that's what this would look like here. So let's talk about e-commerce very, very quickly, Sergio. If this is one of your first, I'm going to say 12 sites, and they're asking for e-commerce, I would strongly advise that you hold them off as long as possible. Just because I want you to be able to sell as many sites as possible without this add-on, because it's going to add a lot of time. It's going to add a lot of effort to your site launch as well as the site maintenance responsibilities. So that's part one. Part two, so you always got to charge more because it's going to take you more time. Part two of that is, this is really ideal for a client who's got, I usually say less than 20 items they're selling online. Because once you get past 15 to 20, people will sometimes have some very specific needs or wants or requests that go outside of what a typical e-commerce solution consists of. So I would make sure that your client can understand every detail about what it is they're going to be selling online. I'll also mention this. For a business to get into the world of e-commerce, it's almost like them starting a second business. because they have to figure out refund policy and return policy and what their shipping policy is going to be. And are they going to let people do expedited shipping? And what are the tax rates? Are they selling it to different cities and towns? And there's a lot. There's a lot. So all those things kind of have to be checked off or answered at some point. And that just means more time it's going to take away from you selling more sites. So the functionalities here, yes, I would love if you save this until you've got 10 or 12 sites under your belt. You're very, very comfortable in the platform. And then you can move on and take on the more advanced stuff like e-commerce. Ernie's saying, can I use other chat widget software instead of a list of names from the resources page? If so, do you have instructions on how to code it on my site? So yeah, we don't care what chat widget that you end up using on your site. And what Ernie's asking about is from the resources section of our dashboard, you're going to see that we have a lot of third-party add-ons, so to speak. And these are not endorsed by us. They are not integrated into our platform. They are not plugins or add-ons or anything like that. We don't have that. But what we do have are a couple of completely third-party vendors, folks who usually it comes where like our clients recommend them to us. So then we're like, all right, cool. And we test it out and looking at it like, all right, this is actually something that a lot of people could benefit from. So we throw it on here. So the two that we currently have are, where is it? Chatbot and live chat. Oh, three of them. Chatbot, live chat, fresh chat. Very similar names. These folks, we've seen it works well. If you got another one, go for another one. By all means, that's your call. But the instructions are usually provided by them. So typically what will happen is the chatbot will give you a snippet of code. And that code is going to be site-wide code. And site-wide code means it's going to automatically apply to every single page of the site. So if you were to install that on a site, you would go to the site you're working on. You would go to the site details page. You would click edit, and then you would find the HTML box that it goes in. And they'll tell you like, oh, this belongs in the header, or this belongs at the top of the body HTML, or this belongs at the bottom or footer of the HTML body code. Pop it into the right box, click save. Here's something very important you got to know, guys. If you want to see what this looks like, you have to be in preview mode. You have to be in preview mode. We do not load HTML into the site when you're editing it. So you have to click preview, and then you'll be able to see it. Or access the site, meaning copy and paste this URL and open up a different browser that you're not currently logged into the platform with. So this way, it's not potentially impeding the editing functionality of the site. Okay? Steven's saying, I did submit my questions late last night, but it is possible to get them answered today during the session. Yes, yes, yes. Kenneth, I'm going to come back to your other. Actually, I'll answer this one real quick, and then I'll get to you, Steven. Kenneth is saying, how often is the info in the prospecting tool updated? Essentially every minute. We can't guarantee 100% accuracy. From our personal experience, it's hovering somewhere like around 85 to 95% accurate. But if you ever felt like you needed to double check anything you see in that local prospecting tool, by all means, go check it out, cross-reference, and be absolutely sure that the info you see is correct. All right, let's look at Steven's questions. Steven, you are talking about something that has had my blood boiling for the last 48 hours. Steven says this: Google didn't let me claim my business because I didn't have any swag or anything on my car or a bill with the business name on it. I showed my home address from the outside of the house. All right, so what Steven's talking about is if you do a search for a local business, okay, you are going to see something like this, a Google business profile. This Google business profile is going to give some key information about the business and is actually really, really helpful for most small to medium-sized businesses get found on the internet. Because lots of people will gravitate to this big, beautiful graphical thing on the right side of the screen as opposed to the boring text-based search results. So this is very, very effective in getting people to visit the website because it's one of the very first things they show. So Steven's probably thinking, well, look, if I want to have a better online experience for my marketing company, my agency, I should have a Google business profile as well. And here's the sticky part. Google business profiles have become very recently more difficult to claim. The reason is because people have been abusing this and taking advantage of it. So what they will often ask you to do is to somehow prove that you in fact own the agency outside of some very more simple ways of verification. Like it used to be where they'll just send you a postcard in the mail. You get that postcard, there's a 6-digit code on it, you authorize the business. In some cases, you still might get that option, but Steven's dealing with something where it's becoming a pain in the butt. They want to see a video of him in some way interacting with equipment or something that has his business name on it to prove his existence and ownership of the business. So then Steven goes on to answer with the context of that. I've been delaying my business launch using social media and stuff because I haven't been able to claim my Google business profile. Wouldn't it be better to wait until I have Google to launch, or do you think I can launch without Google showing my business? Steven, only a tiny percentage of SiteSwan resellers have even thought to get a Google business profile set up for their agency. It is 100% not necessary. 200% not necessary. Okay? This is not a prerequisite by any means for you going out and selling sites. Here's the thing. If someone is Googling your business and they don't see a Google business profile, they're not expecting to see it. What they're expecting to see is your business in the search result. And that's even if they Google you, right? Because chances are if someone's like, oh, they're trying to vet you, like, oh, Steven, I never heard of your company before. I'm like, oh, cool, check us out online. And you give them the domain name and they just type the domain name in and go straight to the site. Do not at all make this a reason to delay or postpone anything you're doing. And here's the thing, Steven, we have, as you guys probably know, some of you, if you're brand new, maybe not, we have a 14-day launch plan that appears in the resources section of your dashboard. This right here with this ugly face on it, this 14-day launch plan is your ticket to getting the best possible results in selling sites as quick as humanly possible. And nowhere in this document do we say that Google Business Profiles are any sort of essential piece of the puzzle. You can post on social, you can do warm outreach, you can do cold outreach, you can do all the stuff that you need to do to effectively sell sites, the stuff that works outside of the Google Business Profile. So rest assured, you are not alone in having this issue, because I just dealt with this the other day with our own profile, as a matter of fact. And I'm like, this is the first time that our SiteSwan profile has been live on the internet in like 3 weeks. So, which, by the way, let's do this, okay? Because I want to prove to Google this is a real listing. Any of you who are willing to go on and give us a review, and I'm not allowed to specifically ask you for a particular star rating in the review, but I hope, maybe whatever. So if you can go ahead and give us a review, I want you to take a screenshot of it and send it to info@siteswan.com, and then we will do something special for you, okay? You are going to get a very special thank you that I think will be worth the time, the 10 seconds it took you to leave a review with like 20 or more words. All right. So I really appreciate that. And we'll show our appreciation to you. So, Stephen, thank you so much for that question. Now, here's the thing, guys. The reason why it's important, I'm spending some time talking about Google Business Profiles and just not like, shooing Stephen away, is because sometimes this is going to come up with your clients. Sometimes your clients are going to say, hey, is there anything I could do to get better search results? Is there anything I can do to get more people to my site right now? Is there anything that is best practice in the web design world for the purposes of, we call this offsite SEO, getting myself in search results? And lots of times this Google Business Profile can be a catalyst for more website results. If the business already has a Google Business Profile, you can help them verify themselves. That's like the easiest situation. If the listing already exists, you can go ahead, get it verified. It's usually a lot easier than recording that video that Steven's talking about, and then take ownership of it. If it doesn't exist, well, then you could certainly walk them through the steps of how to go about doing that. It actually is, for a business that is established, so to speak, like you're a brand new company, Steven, like you can't expect Google to know that you have this business entity from your home address. But for the landscaper, the coffee shop, the whatever business, right, that has been in existence for a long period of time, but just never got a Google Business Profile, what you're going to do is business dot SiteSwanGoogle.com. It's going to take you over to here, and you're going to click Manage Now, and you can start the process for either getting access to an already existing Google profile or creating a new one on behalf of your client. And if you do decide to create one on behalf of your client, you better charge for it. My suggestion is $200 and up, but charging for this Google Business Profile setup is important. All right, Stephen also said, I had a customer that was not interested because he said he already tried a website and that it never brought him any business. I don't currently offer an ad service, but I tried to explain that it would help him get traffic from good SEO on Google, but he says he gets better results from just word of mouth. Since I'm not an ad expert, how could I explain the value of having a site or show that he'd be able to get more business and look more professional with a website and word of mouth? So here's the deal. This is twofold, okay? This is someone who is clearly old school. I would imagine they're a little bit older, and they somehow believe that people will always continue to talk so well about them as they do today. And also doesn't take into consideration that just one bad experience is something that people will talk about 10 times more than a good experience. So he's relying on a very inefficient method of getting people to say good things about him as a means to get clients, because not everybody talks well about a good experience. What he really needs is not just a website, but also someone to help him out reputation management, getting more of those things that people are saying verbally to their friends and family and putting them public into the world on sites like Google, Facebook, and Yelp. So it sounds to me like this person's a perfect candidate for not just a new website, but also for reputation management. Now, for anyone who is not keen on why they need a website and is really actually questioning that, I want to make sure that you take a look at this document, which is the 5 reasons why every small business needs a website. So what I would do is I would get this ready to go, print it out. It sounds like you're going to need to print this out for this guy. Okay, you're going to print this out. And then, assuming they're local, you're going to create a site for the business. Hope we have a theme for them. Create a site for the business, customize it a little bit for the business, the way we teach in the training videos. And you are going to go in with the 1-2 punch. Be like, hey, listen, I know you said you didn't want a site. You already have one that didn't work for you, whatever. But chances are, I have a feeling maybe the site wasn't built the right way. It wasn't built by a professional. It wasn't built in the platform that I build my sites on, which is optimized to get you the types of local results that you deserve. And then you're going to go in and talk about, look, I know maybe you don't need help with, getting more and more customers in the door, but what if it was easier? What if it did help you find customers? And what if you didn't have to prove to someone new that you could be trusted, that you were credible? The website does that for you. And, what about all the times that someone will call your store and ask you the same beeping questions 15 times a day? What if those questions could be answered by your website? What brands do you carry? What time are you open until today? Do you have this or whatever? Like, do you provide this service? You could list all that in your site and let people explore it on the site. In fact, if they ask it on the phone, so you know what, we have that information and a whole lot more all laid out in our website. Why don't you go hop on there and call me back if you have any questions? And then tend to the people who are in your store. If you're so busy picking up the phone 15 times a day, sounds to me like you should be busier with getting people who have had their questions answered already and then coming into your store who you can help face to face. The 4th thing is to help prevent negative reviews. So look, even though everyone's having a great experience now, God forbid you get sick and you're out of the office for a week and a half, and now the staff who you think is operating at 95% of your capabilities is only operating at 75%. And now people, 1 or 2, have a bad experience. Well, those people are going to blow you up. But if they can go online, if they can see that, oh, wait, okay, maybe they just had a bad day because look at these stellar reviews that are online about them. And also, I can contact the business privately and securely through their site so that I can convey to them what made me feel like I had a bad experience. That's going to really, really help them. And then, of course, it's also going to increase their bottom line because a website functions as the hub of the marketing wheel. So what it does is everything that the business needs or wants to do between advertising, marketing, pay-per-click, whatever, text message marketing, email marketing, direct mail, flyers, brochures, whatever, everything stems to and from the website. So that's actually going to make sure that every dollar spent on any type of advertising or marketing is going to be of a higher value because the website's going to support it, embrace it, and help it do its best. All right. This document, the free homepage design, that is what you need to effectively go out there and sell some sites to people who don't think they need one. All right. Then Steven said, I tried using a tablet to demo a website in person. I have cellular service. I had full signal, but when I tried to show the website demo to the it wasn't working on the spot. I had to get onto his Wi-Fi. He's asking if we have bandwidth requirements for demoing a website. No, not at all. It sounds like bad luck, but that's happened to me too. It's just when you need something to work, it doesn't. You got those dead spots and all sorts of stuff. Hey, it was nice of him to let you connect to his Wi-Fi. I'm gonna bet you actually sold that guy if I had to guess. But yeah, it happens. I assure you, it's not the platform. It's just awful luck. And then he follows it up with saying, do you recommend that we only call the customer to do a demo and have them open the website on their Wi-Fi to ensure a smooth demo via phone call only? Or video calls are better? Or what's the deal? So let's say future. Okay, in the future, Stephen, what you could do is you could screenshot the site. So God forbid everything fails, you could show them a screenshot and scroll through it. Okay, that'd be something. Our website presentation. Thank you, Jason. Jason just sent us a review. The entire website presentation is choreographed for a phone call. So like if you go to the training video that's specific about selling a website to a small, presenting a website to a small business, it's specifically crafted for a phone conversation. You do not need to be face-to-face with a business owner to effectively sell them a website. So what I often recommend, stick to the phones. If you want to go in person, if it's practical for you, if you're a personable individual, you like speaking with people face-to-face, then by all means go out there and sell it. I'm not going to say it's going to be less productive in person. That's definitely not the case, usually. But if you follow our script and go through this from top to bottom over the phone, the one thing is, as we dictate in this video, make sure they're on a laptop or computer with a large screen. You don't want them looking on their phone. Best situation, best first impression is as large of a screen as possible. If it's a tablet, hold it horizontally, because that's going to give them the most impactful design presentation. Hopefully that answered your question. And finally, from Stephen, I've looked into the widgets and you offer instructions for on SiteSwan. Do you have any other widgets or add-ons to the website that can provide value? So, Stephen, I want you to just, my best advice is to be a good listener. That's what Tammy also, and you're going to see in the video, spoke about also, is like, if you are just a good listener to what your clients are asking you for, you are going to know exactly what you have to figure out a solution to upsell them, because you're going to hear it over and over and over again. So instead of pushing things down your throat about what you should or could be selling, I mean, reputation management is a clear winner. Like, everybody is always looking at reviews online before they make a buying decision. Knowing, keeping track of, responding to, measuring, and getting more 5-star reviews on Google, Yelp, and Facebook is critical to every business's success online. So like that was one of those things where like, oh, this is undeniable. We have to build this into the platform because everybody needs this. Yes, it comes with an additional fee, but it also comes with an opportunity to charge your client a lot more. Sometimes, double, and 1 or 2 or 3 times the amount you're charging them for their monthly fee for their website is what you can charge for reputation management. And then, of course, the site and the search engine submission, which I think you had asked about before. So all that stuff is very, very helpful. Let's see. Let me get clarification on one thing, guys, about the HTML. So when you're adding in code into these boxes, I don't expect you to know a lot about code. But what I do want to make sure you understand is that these boxes are not limited to just one widget's code. Like you got to see the screen like this for SiteSwan.com. There's like all this code. So you can have as many widgets. This is an unlimited field. You can just, if it's, let's say you had 5 widgets on the site. I don't know, a chatbot, an accessibility widget, whatever, I don't know. Those can just go one after the other into their respective fields, save your changes, and you're done. Ba-dum. Erica says, I've done a lot of outreach from DMs to cold calls and haven't gotten much responses. What should I do now? Erica, how far are you through the 14-day launch plan? Can you tell us that? What day are you up to in that? I'm going to go over to the questions to see if you respond to that. Yeah, let us know what day you are up to. I'd love to know. Also, Erica, are you going through our coaching program? By the way, for those of you who don't know, there's 26 people here right now. I'm about to make our, if she isn't already, our coach who is on this call right now, very busy. Guys, if you are not taking advantage of the one-on-one coaching that we have, where we guide you through the 14-day launch plan, type in coaching, and we will get you a link to schedule your first call. That is such an important thing. Generino, thank you so much. Generino left us a review. Thank you. We want to make sure each and every one of you are getting the help you need through this entire process. So we will actually walk you through this entire 14-day launch plan. It's literally one-on-one. It's one-on-one. It's you and our coach. It's one-on-one. Joe, it is included. You are not paying anything for this. You are not paying anything for this. Everyone who wants coaching, type coaching. She's awesome. You're going to love it. And you are going to get a chance to have yourself held a little bit accountable, which is what everybody needs. We all need, look, the best basketball players in the world have what? Coaches. Are the coaches better than them in basketball? Not necessarily. And I'm not saying that our coach is or isn't better than what you're capable of doing. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that everyone, no matter how good or how effective you are at what you're doing, you can benefit from being escorted and coached through a program that's been proven to work. So Erica, back to what you were talking about. When I asked you what day you were up to, what I'm really curious is, are you following the plan? Because it's difficult for me to be able to effectively go through and tell you, what might be going right or wrong, unless I have a little bit more detail. Oh, here we go. Erica saying, I'm in the coaching program, and I did some Loom videos to send to businesses through DM and phone number, cold calls and DMs. We completed the plan. I got some customers, but the oncoming customers have stopped. So, Erica, where in the 14-day launch plan did the Loom video get listed? I'm teasing you kind of, but I do kind of mean this because, like, if you stick to the plan, it works. No Loom videos required. But I'm curious, did you get the clients from the Loom video? Because I know that, and for those of you who don't know, Loom is a technology. I actually have the widget right here. Loom is a technology where you can record your screen with like a little circle of you. It's actually what I use to do all these training videos. All these training videos are recorded using Loom. And it's cool because you can talk live while pointing at your site and stuff like that. And it's interesting because you could send that to your client in their inbox over. But I have yet to see proof that it's a very effective and scalable solution to sell websites to small businesses. And that's simply offering and leading with, hey, I have been working on a website design for your business that I think you're going to love. And it costs you nothing. I just want to show it to you because I'm convinced this is going to change your online experience. That kind of thing is very effective all on its own. No fancy tools or looms required. And remember that when you go through this 14-day launch plan, this is something everybody needs to know. We call it 14-day launch plan for a couple of reasons. Number one, step-by-step over 14 days. Number two, it's repeatable. This is not a one-time thing and then, okay. If you went through it and you got clients, start over. Do it again. Because here's the deal. Your first couple days is social outreach, which we give you a very specific script on what to post to Facebook, for example. Well, guess what? As time goes on, you are going to get new Facebook relationships. You are going to get more exposure. And do not think for a second that what you posted on one day in November is going to get the same traction and exposure as what you post 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later on a different day in December or January. Going through it again is the healthiest way to ensure you have a constant flow of leads coming in who you can sell websites to. Andre says regarding regarding JavaScripts, how do we handle conflicts or incapability issues? Tech support. Andre, we can't, as you could probably imagine, we can't support any sort of conflicting custom code that you add into a site. I will say that if you're using code from reputable third-party solutions like chatbots or whatever else, they're designed to not conflict with other code that might be on the site because they're supposed to be platform agnostic, meaning they can be added to any platform, any website, any whatever, and independently function without conflict. So you shouldn't have that issue. And if you did, that's the thing you go back to the provider with and say, hey, I included it on the site. And you send them a link, like, how come it's not working the way it should? And they will guide you to figure out why that might be. All right. Let me get to some more questions for folks who are in the room right now. Tammy came in earlier and said, can I keep the testimonials provided on the website styles, especially if the client doesn't have it? So, Stephen, thank you for the review. Tammy, testimonials. So as you will see on pretty much every single one of our themes, we have some placeholder testimonials that are here that are designed to help your client envision how good things being said about them would be displayed on the site for the world to see. Testimonials are an incredibly important form of social proof. So as clearly I'm asking you to post on our Google review thing. Very, very important. When you pass this site on to the client, if they have reviews that they would like to swap these default ones out for, then by all means. You can't tell them, I mean, you could, but you don't have to tell them, hey, don't put this on my site, on your site. This doesn't belong on your site. That's up to them. If they feel like I have also seen this where it's like, I see a testimonial, I'm like, oh my God, someone has totally said this about our business at some point. I don't know who it was, but I know for certain somebody has said almost this exact same thing word for word. So they'll be like, I'll leave it because it's honest, it's true. So that's totally between the client and how they feel they want to be represented online. I don't think you have to really step in and take any specific action unless you feel morally compelled to. Also, Tammy says, I can't remember where I saw the option to place a logo that will be used on social media tags. So great question. So what Tammy's saying is that like every time you go to, let's say I were to post this site to Facebook or post it or send it in a text message, okay? What will happen is that the messaging platform is going to try to be smart and show me an image that's representative. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa sent us a review also. Appreciate it. Something special is coming all your way. The idea of an image being included in a messaging application is really compelling for the person receiving it to click on it. Now, what image is going to appear there when you send it in that fashion? So let me show you how to go about making that change. So what's cool is that this can be edited on a page-by-page basis. So currently, I am on the home page. How do I know that? It's highlighted in blue. I click on the little pencil icon to edit. I love how, guys, is there background noise right now? Because like there are probably 12 landscapers right now just outside my office window, and they are making a racket. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Right here, it's called Open Graph Image, Social Sharing Image Open Graph. You click it on, and then you choose an image. So you can go ahead and pick any image that's in the image library right now or upload a new one. Select it. Let's just say it's, I don't know, it's this one. Click OK and click Save. And now if I share this image anywhere, it is going to, if I share this page anywhere, it's going to show this image as a clickable link and be a really cool, nice, attractive way to send the link. So that's the way that works. Now, what you could also do is you can set what's called a fave icon or favicon. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's going to basically replace this little globe up here. See how we have one that's the SiteSwan logo and YouTube has the play button, okay? So you can do that for any of your sites. All you got to do is go into the site details page of your dashboard and then find the option for fave icon or favicon right here. Click choose file, upload the image, and you're done. It's best for it to be a very simple image. Simple image, simpler it is, the better it's going to appear because it doesn't appear very large. It's very, very small. The other place you'll see it is in Google search results. This is our fave icon. That's Reddit's fave icon. Okay, I think you get the idea there. All right. Next question. Bum, 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 bum. Edwin says, should I be concerned about people knowing that I work from home or that I'm a single person operation as opposed to an agency with a physical location and employees? Also, using I versus we or us on my agency website as a one-person operation. Ed, I think that you should do what makes you feel best because there are two sides to this that are up for consideration. The first is that, number one, business owners like working with other business owners, okay? When I, for example, have people come quote me on whatever, tree removal or, landscaping services or whatever, I always find that the people who are the business owners are super easy to identify because they care more. And I almost always choose them over someone else because I know that they're understanding me and they care about the work that's being done. They care about how they're quoting me. They're caring about what they're saying. I love that. So I don't think that I, for one, would be the type of person to judge a business if I knew they were a one-person operation, so long as that one person was, was worthy, I should say. But if you feel like, uh, you know, having the protection of a we or a us or whatever makes you feel a little more comfortable walking in to speak with a business owner, then by all means use that. But also, I want to make sure that you know that the idea of people looking down on a business that's only a one person operation, I think is a little bit of an old school thought. When you consider every single Uber driver or DoorDash driver or whatever, they're technically business owners. So there's no right or wrong answer, Ed, but I do think you should take a minute to do what makes you feel most comfortable when you're talking to folks. Ed also said, my business and personal address is a private mailbox service with address and map on my website. I don't want people to think I have a physical office when I don't. Don't read into it too much. Ed, no one's going to spend nearly as much time on your site as you ever will. Okay? The average person sticks around on a website for less than 30 seconds. So they're probably not going to analyze it that closely. Don't overthink it. Okay? Let's see. And why, he's asking, why would I use a subdomain like reviews.joespizza.com instead of just adding a page and making it joespizza.com/reviews? Joe, I'm not sure what makes you think that is something we suggest. When you're adding reputation management to a website client of yours, you are going to do just that. You're going to have a page called Leave a Review. I'll show you a quick example. A page called Leave a Review. And it's going to look like this. where the snippet of code that we give you to generate this review request form gets automatically populated on the site. There is no reason to have it on a subdomain. The only reason would be is if you're selling reputation management to a business who does not have a site with you, and they can't get it added to their site for whatever reason. So you'll set up some sort of placeholder site where you can put their reputation management review request form on. Okay. Next question from Cosman. Posted earlier. I'm gonna get to you too, Generino. If I'm based in a non-English speaking country, but most people understand English, is it best practice to have my site in that native language? Do I limit myself by doing that? I don't know what you mean by limit yourself, Cosman. I think, here's the one thing that will happen. Like if you visit so whether you know it or not, your computer and all of your clients' computers and potential clients' computers have what they consider to be a most commonly used default language. And that's the language you're visiting sites on the most. So if you're doing English text websites versus French text websites or whatever the other language might be. And when you're visiting a site that does not have your default language, you're going to get a little pop-up at the top that says, would you like to have the site translated for you? And they will do their gosh darn best to translate the site on the spot into the language you're most accustomed to viewing sites in. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to what you're dealing with. Don't second guess yourself. Just choose one or the other. And if you're getting a lot of pushback for some reason, go ahead and change it. Cosman also asks, as for cookie consent goes, how do I know when it's time to implement a cookie consent banner so I comply with the laws? So right now on the SiteSwan platform, there are no optional cookies that are being added to anyone's site visit. There are none. We do not implement any tracking outside of basic website statistics that every single site in the world has. So nothing's being collected, monitored, installed, or anything like that. So unless you're adding something to the site that is installing cookies onto your visitors' computers or machines, then at that point, you would certainly have some sort of cookie consent, which that application would probably also give you the proper verbiage to describe exactly what's happening and the corresponding action to stop or prevent the cookies from being installed. Then Cosman says, how do I justify the $50 a month to a stubborn client who's not convinced that just hosting and some maintenance should do the price? So if you are not walking through, so here's the deal, right? Like if you look at your marketing website, okay, we tell you basically exactly how you can sell the monthly service. I'll find it. Where's my marketing site? I thought I had one in this account. Bear with me, guys. All right, I'm going to take you over to Tammy's site. All right, so this website monthly service, okay? Just read this off. Well, she's adding a QR code. You see that? That's kind of cool on the search engine submission. Read this off, and this will help you validate the monthly fee that you are charging. And before they even have an option to ask that, if you're noticing that for whatever reason in your market that seems to be a difficult thing for you to get over, then I would recommend when you're first introducing the price, you call this an all-inclusive website monthly service fee that includes worry-free cloud hosting, an SSL certificate to ensure the highest level of encryption for everyone who's visiting the site, fully optimized desktop, tablet, and mobile versions with perpetual compatibility across all devices, operating tablets, etc. We do some cross-browser testing on an ongoing basis. We give you real-time traffic stats so you can understand how people are using the site, how long they stay, which pages are most popular. You get the ability to log in and make changes to the site yourself, or have us do it for you. Just call, text, or email any of your updates and expect them to be done in 24 to 48 hours. and you get the support that you need from someone who is a local business owner just like you, who truly cares about you having the most success online. Because let's face it, only if you find our relationship to be successful will you talk about me to someone else in a good way. And that is what I want. I bust my butt to help people like you so I can get more people like you to pay me, so I can get more people like you to pay me. If you go in with the confidence that you have the best thing going, because here's the deal, you probably do. Let them go and shop around. Let them see what it's like to get someone on the phone with a national or regional size agency with 500 employees. Tell them good luck in getting the same person on the phone when they have an issue that wasn't resolved the first time to get it resolved the second time. Those are the types of things that people will happily pay 50, 75, 100, 150, $200 a month for, to know that when they reach out to you, they're going to get a response in a very reasonable amount of time from the same person they spoke to last time, someone who's local, someone who cares, someone who understands the local economy and community, and that's what counts. Now I totally lost the screen where I had you guys questions on. All right, I got it. So that was all of Cosman's questions. I'm really sorry if I don't know. I'm also going to do this for you guys. So we've produced so many damn videos, I forget which ones we have and which ones we haven't done. For anyone wanting to get this spelled out a little bit clearer, I'm going to recommend that you go and check out this video. Google this, how to explain a monthly website fee to a client. Put that into a YouTube search and you will see me talk about exactly, oh, that's a great screenshot, Justin. Exactly what, how we recommend doing this in a way that is best practice. Okay? Check that out. I'll leave this up for a second. Get this out of the way. How to explain a monthly fee website fee to a client. All right. Oh, I love this too. I'm sorry. I'm in and out of the chat as well as the questions here on moderators. So Tammy chimed in and she's like, yeah, just tell them what other companies are charging. Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right. A couple more questions and we'll wrap up. We're getting to the 1 hour mark really fast. If you have anything else that's eating away at you, put it in the questions tab right now. I'll try to jump on it. I'll give you a minute to do that as I answer Generino's questions. My first client is a general contractor in South Florida. His website is an outdated WordPress site full of unnecessary content. His business generally has 4 categories: pools, condo remodeling, additions, and new construction. I recommend we create a website for each category to attract various clients. Then we should clean up the original site with links to the above. Do you think this is a good strategy? So this is like, it's very similar to what you're going to hear in I can't stop talking about Tammy today. In the interview that I did with Tammy, because her very first website client was actually 2 websites. So it was a construction company and junk removal. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting you set up with a construction website that also talks about junk removal. Those are totally different things. We can't do that. So she told them 2 websites. So, and I remember saying to me, I'm like, so wait, you told your client what to do? And it's like, yeah, because you can. You're the expert in this situation. And I understand your concern because you're like, well, they're all construction based. So, should I do it all on the same site? So look, separate sites for different services. Look, because a pool company, someone who does pools, is very different than someone who does construction on homes. Okay, but someone who does additions and new construction, I feel like those are very, very similar things. So I don't know if I would separate those 2. And then condo remodeling is arguably very, very similar to the latter one, the additions and the new construction. So I don't know if I could legitimately make a case for 4 different sites here, but I do like the idea of separating pools into its own thing, because people who are looking for pool construction are not at all necessarily the people who are looking for condo remodeling, additions, or new construction. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you pitch your client on this. Also, he says, how do I unscrew his WordPress website? I don't know what that means exactly, but remember, any domain name can be pointed to any SiteSwan site. So once you've got them committed to the site or sites that you're charging them for, you just get that domain name, the registrar that they bought the domain name from, get access to it, point it over to SiteSwan, and you're done. All right, Steven is asking about Tammy's interview. It's not live yet. So you'll see it probably next week or the week after. But you'll know as soon as we do, because especially if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll see it. And we'll send an email out also, because this is pretty important for people to see, I think. Kozman is teasing me for constantly second-guessing myself on how to pronounce his name. Yes, I do that a lot. Last thing, Andre is saying, could you please quickly go over selling SEO? Andre, if there was a quick way to go over selling SEO, the simplest form of it, I want you to start somewhere. Okay, the simplest form of it is explain the website submission, search engine submission tool. Be like, hey, look, I want to make sure your site is getting, the search engines are getting notified about your site, not only once, but all the time. With any slight little tiny little update that you might be making to the site, search engines will know about it. They'll stay on top of it, and will get you into the best chance of getting onto Google and toward the top of Google by reminding them. And it's so inexpensive. I mean, this is something you can eat this cost if you wanted to, like Tammy's doing, just bumping up the prices. Or of course you can charge them, 10, 15, 20 bucks a month for it, $25 a month for it, whatever makes you feel good. All right, at this point, I'm going to stop taking questions, except for one last thing I want to get from you guys. We do these because we want to help our clients. We want to help you guys. We want to help you do more, do better, be more efficient, sell more sites, make more money, okay? We need to know that we're doing this the right way. So do me a favor, in the questions tab, give me one key takeaway, one thing that you heard, saw, experienced, heard someone else ask, whatever, that is going to stick with you. One thing. Everyone take a quick minute to do that, please, and then we'll let you guys go. Any one thing. My voice is shot. Kenneth says, knowing that we're the boss. Yes. Yes. You're the business owner, Kenneth. You're the business owner that another business owner is going to prefer to speak to you as opposed to some random agent from a different country on the phone talking about a website. Okay? You. Generino says, I didn't realize we could add widgets. Well, there you go. It's not always necessary, but if they have a demand for something, you certainly can do it. Tammy says, I just did the fave icon image. I love it. Learn something new every coaching session. Well, I appreciate that. Andre likes the open graph, same thing. And answering the JavaScript question, my pleasure. Melissa says the idea and option to do more than one website for the same client. Absolutely. Don't force it, Melissa, but there are some really, really clear opportunities to do it. Steven says I need to take advantage of the coaching offer, as I saw a bunch of others of you felt the same way. And Mark is saying, listen to the client. I can't stress that enough, Mark. If you are just being a good listener, you are going to hear opportunities get thrown in your face. Okay? So if you're a good listener, you're going to know what it is the next thing you're going to start selling to your clients, because you're going to hear it over and over and over again. So take it and run with it. Kozman says, I like the whois.com. Never knew about it. Yep, you can check where any domain is registered. Any domain is registered. And it's pretty easy to help guide your client, when they're looking for that login information. Knowing what login information they're looking for really helps big time. Ed says, knowing that the website's the hub of a business owner's business, or right, I call it the marketing wheel, the hub of the marketing wheel. So it's like the hub, and all the spokes that come to and from it is all the advertising, marketing stuff that they do. Joe's asking if we have website templates for retail stores. Yes, we certainly do. You can go and check out the retail. There's at least one there. So you can go take a look at that. All right, cool. Guys, for those of you who did leave a review on our SiteSwan Google profile, thank you so much. Let's see what the number's up to. Look at that. 5 of you did it. Thank you so much. Look out for a special something in your inbox. Anyone else who wants to do it, Google SiteSwan, leave a review, and that'd be awesome. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this today. I really do mean that when I say it, and we're going to continue to do these. I want you to come to as many as possible. If you're brand new, once again, welcome. Let's kick some butt together. Have a great rest of your Thursday, rest of the week. And if I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, have a very happy Thanksgiving. See you all later.